Oh, thank you. Hi. Where are you? Let me fix this. All right. All right, so a quick little update for the Cashy. He's warmed up really nicely. He's not quite so weird about like me coming into his space or him coming into my space. He's got some nice food drive now. He was kind of like meh before. He really would only take treats if I like tossed them on the ground and things like that. I've just been kind of helping like build his confidence, mostly with me. I think that might not be an issue for you guys at home. But just getting him used to like following my hands around. Yes, the boy. Just so I can teach new behaviors and learning and all of that stuff. Yes. But the big thing, once he was a little more confident with me, is markering position. So marker is a word that marks a moment in time that I like something that he does, and for him that's going to announce the arrival of a reward. And basically I'm just trying to create the association of marker equals reward, so that way whatever behavior that he's doing when he hears that marker theoretically will take on the good feeling of receiving the reward, so that way he is more likely to do that behavior with me in the future. So the different markers that we use kind of with they uphold like different reward event styles. So we have yes, good, and okay. Yes means I like what you did, come take something from me. Ideally the reward event is going to be, where are you? Where are you? Yes, me moving and having him chase after my hands. I want to be fun and playful, and yes, I'm using that one with teaching new behaviors just because I'm not really expecting him to be able to stay in a behavior for a duration of time if he's not sure what that behavior is. And I don't want to like drill like you have to be in this behavior just because it's a little bit of social pressure and it might make it not as fun. So I want it to be fun, entertaining for him. Out. Excuse me. And I'll use that to build engagement and to counter conditioned behaviors and things of that nature. So there's no commitment to the behavior when he hears the word yes. It's just come take food. Whatever you're doing, come take food. I want you to keep doing that behavior. Come take food from me when you hear the marker. Then we have cash, sit, good, which is implying that I want him to continue to the behavior. Nope, good. It's a duration marker, meaning I want to pay him good as he's in behavior right now to build up that duration. Good. So I'm teaching him, hey, there's value in remaining that behavior, and then okay is the terminal marker, meaning that the behavior is over. Right now the bar is pretty low. I just want to do a lot of positive reinforcement. Now that he is comfortable with me, I'm going to start adding in rules, which will be when I tell him to go into behavior like sit, good, I might pay him at first, and then as I start doing things, nope, good. I'm going to add in good, that rule of nope, you can't come out of the behavior. Good. It's just balancing our expectations, right? Like this is where I want you to be, here's all the good stuff, and then but you actually can't come out of the behavior until you hear, okay, very nice. It's important that he is responsive to the verbal markers, stop, and not my hand gestures like reaching towards food or my hand reaching out towards him to give treats. I want my movements to be neutral, and I want him to have a reflexive response to that verbal marker, so that like in this context maybe not a big deal, he's pretty engaged with me, there's not a lot of competing for his attention, but as we get out into different types of environments where there's more distractions and things like that, if he's not looking at me and I mark to reward something and he doesn't actually see me reaching towards my treats or reaching towards him or whatever, we lose that moment that we're trying to reward because he's not actually responding to the word. So you might see, sit, good. You might see me do things like reaching into my treat pouch, all of that, good. Nothing announces food except for that word, good. So I can add in movements, good. I want him to be able to, good, remain in that behavior, good, until he hears that word, good. Okay. Very nice, good job, buddy. And then the other thing that we're working on, which I know like he's now that he's comfortable with me, starting to show it this, where he's like pestering me and kind of getting into my space. Now I'm going to teach him that out behavior. So all it is out, step into space, and toss food away from me. We've already been doing it, so he's got a pretty good hang of it. Out. Teaching him the picture of giving me space when I ask for it. Right now, I'm just trying to create that muscle memory. Out. She sees right there, he did that before I even threw the foot. Out. Yes. So he knows what I'm looking for when I want him to give me space. And that way I can, if he's starting to crowd my space and I'm like, you know what, you're being annoying, you're pestering me. Out. Yes, good boy. He knows how to move away, and it's not so much of like a punishment kind of thing. It's more like, oh, I know how to move away from you. We'll start where I am, starting with him moving away from me. And then once like he really has that picture down of, I hear the word out and I kind of turn and move away from something, I will transfer it over to an object that is not me. So we're not quite there yet, but we'll get there. Now that, again, I keep saying that he's more comfortable with me, we're to start working on leash manners and things like that, which is really the big thing that I wanted to establish with him with luring, because he wasn't really interested in that. He had a little bit of trust issues with moving around my body, following my hand with the treat. So, come here. Yes. So I've just been marking and rewarding him for moving away from me. Yes. Very good. Like turning and facing, oh my gosh, back into that heel position. He would not do that before. He would kind of get stuck right there. Yes. Yes. Good boy. And as I'm luring and teaching this, I'm adding in a little bit of leash pressure. I want him to learn how to appropriately respond to leash pressure, and how to remove it by moving towards its source. So I want him to know what it's asking. So yes, I might give a little bit of a tap towards me, and as soon as he moves, as soon as he follows the leash and turns towards me, moves towards me, I discontinue that pressure and then mark and pay. So I want him to, again, I'm repeating myself 1,000 times, I want him to know how to respond to this leash pressure, what it means and what it's asking, and how to fix it, right? To how to make it go away. That otherwise, we have a dog that resists. Naturally, all animals, they resist pressure. So if he apply pressure and he goes the opposite direction, then we can, strengthen that pulling. So I want him, yes, good boy, oh, good job. Good job. I want him to know what to do with that information. And then this, I can, yes, tap him behind me, flip him into that heel, yes. And then tap him back up to follow me. Yes, good boy. Yes, very good. So that's just kind of the prelude to a heel, as I like them to come and flip next to my side. So that way, like if he's up doing his own thing, I'm like, well, I need you to be walking by me because there's stuff happening, or we're on a sidewalk and there's a family coming up, whatever the situation, he knows how to get into the position. Yes, good boy. All right, that's done. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out and ask, and shoot me an email. All right, good buddy.